Welcome to Titus Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is... I don't even know what the date is anymore. Today is December the 10th, 2025. We're going to be talking about NXT because, ladies and gentlemen, we just got a heel turn. Man, we just got one with Tony D'Angelo, and now we got another one. Ooh, that's good. And we got one championship. Well, technically we were supposed to have two, but one didn't happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Ethan Page. He came out to talk about his win at Deadline. Because he says he defeated almost everybody from different companies, from NXT, from legends like Satino, and all that stuff. He says, no, I could beat anyone. He says that everybody now, that he has a whole bunch of young wrestlers how to wrestle, and now they're all worried about their TikToks. And when he's done talking, the lights went out. And it was Tony D'Angelo. He comes out, and ladies and gentlemen, he did the same thing what he did to Javon Evans. The Titantron happened with him walking on the bridge. And then the lights still out except for the spotlights. And behind Ethan Page, there was Tony D'Angelo. And Ethan Page says, oh, crap. He turns around and tries to punch Tony D'Angelo, but he got spine-bustered. And then Tony D'Angelo throws this black stuff onto Ethan Page. That's the same thing that he sent to Ava, I believe, last week. And that's what happened there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got Obafemi, and he talked about his win and his NXT title win at Deadline. He defeated Ricky Sainz. He's done with Ricky Sainz, and now he's going to make his focus on Cody Rhodes this Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event. Because remember, whoever won at Deadline will be facing Cody Rhodes, and that was Obafemi. Ricky Sainz came out and he wants another shot at the NXT title. My hair is just sticking up and it won't go down. Ricky Sainz wants another shot at the NXT title. He wants a rematch and all that stuff. But, ladies and gentlemen, the Iron Survivor Challenge winner, Survivor, Mr. Javon Evans came out and he wants the title match that he earned at New Year's Evil, and he wants it now. But Ricky Sainz tried to try to get Javon out of that. He says, you should wait. You should wait for your shots and all that stuff. But Javon Evans is getting tired of people saying you had to wait. And getting tired of that, saying that Javon is the future, but Javon Evans is the now. And he wants a shot of the NXT title tonight. And then Ricky Sainz agreed with him. He says, you should go for the title. Obafemi's scared of him. And Obafemi's a little upset because he's the champion and you guys are demanding a title shot when it's supposed to be the ruler's decision. Well, technically it's supposed to be Ava's. And then they call him scared. And then Obafemi accepts the match and Ava made it official. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had this heated rivalry between the Jordans, Kalani Jordan and Jordan Grace. These ladies need to stop hating each other since Kalani Jordan was holding that TNA Knockouts Championship and when she lost it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we finally have the grudge match between the Jordans. We have Kalani Jordan versus Jordan Grace. It was a pretty decent match, but at the end, there was a chair got into this match because Kalani wanted to smash the leg of Kalani Jordan Grace on the stairs with a steel chair, but it didn't happen. She missed. And then at the end of the match, we got Jordan Grace trying to use the chair, but the referee pulled the chair from Miss Jordan Grace. And she climbed the stairs, and then Kalani Jordan kicks Jordan Grace off the steel steps into the barricade, crashing into the barricade. The barricade broke, and Jordan Grace just got destroyed. The winner of that match was Kalani Jordan. Blake Moreau had an open challenge for her women's North American title, and she wanted to give people an opportunity. She's in the giving feeling. Because it's the holidays, it's Christmas. So she wants to give somebody a title shot, and then there was a whole bunch of women comes out. A big pile of women came out, and Blake says, only one. I only have two hands. And a whole bunch of people came out, and then Thea Hale just jumped onto Blake Monroe and did her armbar. And she made the champion tap out. She thought she won the match, but the bell did not ring. So Blake is still the champion, but she went to Ava and complained and saying this is a bad idea of yours, but it was Blake's idea. And she said she called, I forgot what she called Thea Hale. But Ava says you will defend that title because she says she's done doing these open challenges. But Ava says you're defending your title next week against Thea Hale. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had Shiloh Hill making his debut against Alexis King. And ladies and gentlemen, it was a pretty decent match. It was a pretty decent debut for Hill. But the winner of that match was Shiloh Hill, and he took his tooth out of his mouth. He has a retainer for 1 tooth. To replace that gap in his mouth, to put a tooth in there. He rips that mouth guard out of his mouth and gives it to the referee, and he starts hulking up, and then he gets the win. Good job for him. He gets the win. We have Sol Ruka will be versing Ren Sinclair because Sol Ruka had a problem with Ren, I forgot her team name. Ren QCC, something like that. It's a quarter no catch crew, but it's Ren something CCC. I don't know what it was. But ladies and gentlemen, she had a problem with him because Ren Sinclair is saying that Zarya is not really a good friend and all that stuff. And then Sol Ruka had her back and said she is a good friend and all that stuff. And then we saw Zarya on top of the where the bleachers are, where the fans are, watching this match. And the winner of that match was Sol Ruka. And then Fatal Influence came out after Sol Ruka saw Zarya, and Zarya was about to come to the ring, but she said, nah, and she walks back up of the bleachers, and Sol Ruka went after her. And then Fatal Influence came out, and JC Jane had a lot to say, saying that she's better than everybody, nobody expects you to win, to beat me. But JC Jane did say that nobody expected you to win beat Stephanie McCurr for the championship. JC Jane wasn't happy about that. And then the Fatal Influence attacked Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair to end that segment. Well, Ava said that Javon Evans is having his title match in the main event tonight, so she needs a no-win contender for New Year's Evil. So she brought the 4 guys that lost in the Deadline Iron Survivor Challenge, Joe Hendry, Leon Slater, Miles Bourne, and Dion Lennox. And it looks like we're going to have a fatal 4-way match next week to find out who will face the NXT champion at New Year's Evil. So that's going to be interesting. We get to see more of Leon Slater. That's cool. We get to see him on Saturday's main event. That's another cool thing. A TNA be on the Saturday's main event. That's pretty cool. But ladies and gentlemen, we have the NXT Championship on the line. We have Oba Femi versus Javon Evans. And I thought it was an awesome match. It was great. It looked like Javon was about to win. It was awesome. Oba Femi was getting put in his place. But ladies and gentlemen, at the end, after 3 cutters, Javon Evans, 1, 2, he was about to win it until the referee got pulled out of the ring. And it was Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints is the one that pulled the referee and made sure Javon Evans does not get the title. Javon Evans lost focus and he jumped onto Ricky Saints. And then he went back to the ring. He did his kick thing that he does, springboard kick. but it didn't work out because he got a clothesline out of his boots, and then an uppercut in the corner, and then fall of grace, and still the NXT champion Obafemi. What the hell, Ricky Saints? Ricky Saints turned heel. My God. And ladies and gentlemen, will we see Tony D'Angelo get a shot of the North American title? He did have a stare down with the NXT champion. I don't know if he's doing this to every champion and not making a message. I have no idea. We will find that out. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow for AEW results. And we heard that Darby Allin is not medically cleared to wrestle for the Continental Classic. They replaced him with Jack Perry. Jack Perry is now in the Continental Classic, and he will be in the match as well. I thought it was Okada, but he's in the Blue League, and I think Okada's in the Gold League, isn't he? I don't know. I need to look it up. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all for me today. Time is out. Bye!